Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Making an Impact with Zebu Nation. And today we have for you the three-quarter season update for the 2020 MLS regular season. This is something I've already recorded once before, but we had some audio problems. Again, I'll talk about that in a minute if we have some dead points in the game we're playing today. But for now, let's just get on with it and see where we're at the three-quarter season point. After 27 games, we got 13 wins, 4 draws, 10 losses, 43 points, and a plus 10 goal differential. Now, 10 losses is a bit much, but we do have 13 wins to back that up. Only 4 draws on the whole season, so it's basically feast or famine, win or lose with this team. None of this draw stuff, but anyway, that is good enough for second place in the Eastern Conference, which is very good. And it's good enough for 6th in the Supporter Shield. So we're starting to catch up with the rest of the league. And our troubles with the board are far behind us after this little winning streak that we've gone on. And I guess let's take a look at said winning streak. It's been pretty good. So since, I guess the board is probably feeling good about themselves because they're like, yeah, we kicked that guy in the butt and got him moving on. Because in the last, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, yeah, I guess 10 games, counting the friendly with Bologna. We've only had 2 losses and 8 wins, so that's pretty good. 7 wins, I guess, if you don't count the friendly win. So ever since the board made that challenge, we have responded, and maybe that's, don't like to admit it, but maybe that's what we needed to refocus and get this team going in the right direction, because I've been distracted with Champions League, been distracted with international duty and all that stuff, and it's kind of on cruise control a little bit here with Montreal. So now we're back, we're focused, and we're winning. We've been doing very well. So the last game that you saw, I think, let's see here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, was probably the 3-2 victory over Philadelphia. We went on, we beat Columbus Crew 3-1, had a pretty good game. Zardes scored a goal late, but by then it was already pretty much over. Jackson Amell had an early goal in the 5th minute. Mendez gave us the lead in the 53rd minute. Now, I guess it was kind of close by the 63rd minute, but we responded quickly in the 69th minute for a goal to get past the Columbus Crew. But we've got past them all year. We've got past them in the Champions League. We got past them last year in the playoffs. So Columbus is nobody we need to worry about too much. We did lose to the Red Bulls, 2-1. This was an interesting game where we got out early. Kyle Larin, again, continuing his goal-scoring streak, has been very good. But then and New York came back, tied it up 52nd minute, and then Daniel Royer scored in the 84th minute, and there wasn't really much we could do after that. Just the game just sort of bogged down, and New York took the ball and went home. We responded very nice, and in particular, one player responded extremely well, and that is our man Raheem Edwards. Check it out. 2 assists, 8.4 rating. He played outstanding. He was all over the field, getting a rare start for him. Let's take a look at old Raheem. He is still improving, 25 years old. Valued at $850,000 now. So it looks like we got a bargain when we bought him for $400,000 or whatever we got him at, which was too much at the time, $600,000. So still not exactly a bargain. But he's had 20 appearances this season. Last year he was out at Puerto Rico FC, but this year we decided we needed him. And he's done very well for us. 3 goals, 8 assists, 1 player of the match, and a 7.03 rating on the season. It's very good. Let's take a look at these highlights, show you some of these assists by Edwards. And basically, he's playing out of necessity. All of our wingers have been injured. Our medical centers look like a MASH unit. Lopez is in the game, our draft pick, because also injuries to our midfielders. Petrasso sending one out wide to Edwards, who caught up with it to Kyle Larin. That was a bit of a desperation play, but people send those passes to Edwards, and he gets to them where other players do not. Here's another one. Piet's going to send it down, and And the defender backs off because he thinks Edwards is going to try to blow by him. But no, look at that. Just a pinpoint cross to Kyle Larin. Again, 2 goals for Larin on the game. So, you know, if Edwards can compete or can connect with Kyle Larin, then I'm going to keep him in the game. Doesn't matter. We need Larin to score. And there's a late goal they got. Racevic in the 74th minute. But then we took the ball and went home. And Chicago couldn't catch up. So we got a nice 2-1 victory. Then we came back 3-0 drubbing of Toronto. And this was very surprising. Extremely surprising. Because we were in the middle of just a roster nightmare. We had, I think it was 16 players out on international duty. Now, several of those were our loan players. But still, we had quite a number of our team out on international duty. We had another just massive wave of injuries. So we had to, I mean, look at the bench we've got here. We've got Johnson, Vasquez, Mendy, Sweat, Giglio, Pujol, and Lutweiler on the bench. We had to go out and bring in one of our loan players back, Mr. Nasco, defensive midfielder, draft pick, super draft pick from a couple years ago, 23 years old now, but he was playing well down in the 2nd or 3rd division in the U.S. He's playing for the Indy 11. I forget what division they're in. But anyway, he's only valued at $125,000. We're probably not going to keep him around too much. But he came in, he played well. He got a goal, of all things. And again, our man Raheem Edwards got the player of the match and 3 assists. Outstanding. Let's take a look at these goals, too. So we're getting back to that point that I like. I like it when our reserves can come up and play and be productive. There's Junior Ramos. He's been injured, but he came back for this game basically because we needed him. There's Edwards. Pretty simple assist there to Nasco, and I don't know how that shot got past the goalkeeper. He just wasn't paying attention. But here's Edwards again, booting one forward to Dupuis. Dupuis looking around, gets it back to Edwards. Edwards crosses it to D'Alessandro, who's back healthy. Again, he was injured as well. And he scores a goal, goes over and celebrates with the crowd. And here's Edwards again, running down the left, which is what he enjoys doing the most. Look at all that open field he's got. And then another just long cross, a banger to Dupuis. It's his 3rd assist. I mean, none of them were spectacular assists, but just good workman-like assists. He puts the ball in the right spot. I don't know how he does it. His ability, his attributes aren't that strong, but you know, when you're in the zone, you're in the zone. So let's keep going with that. All right, let's run down the 3/4 point checklist. The academy, not much going on. We haven't had to pull anybody up. We haven't had to touch the academy this year, so that's pretty good. Not that we have anybody who's particularly outstanding. We do have 3 players who would probably want to move to somewhere else next season to get them some playing time. That's Valenzuela, Daniels, and Benzaza, because they've already got 2-star ability, and it's been my experience that academy players don't develop any more than 2 stars. Once they've reached 2 stars, it's like, you know, it's kind of time to get them out of there and get them moving somewhere else, and then maybe they can start picking up some extra abilities somewhere else. All right, finances. We're a little bit down right now. We're lagging 8.5 million. So we've, you know, you can see the trend here. We're going down, down, down. Got a little bit of a profit this month. It's only the middle of the month, but it is a bit of a downward trend. I think we'll still have some money in the bank by the end of the season, but our payroll has ballooned. All those panic buys that we've made this season has ballooned our payroll up to 7.8 million, closing in on that $10 million mark. So I think we gotta stay, in order to make money with this club, we gotta stay around 6 million. So we're probably going to lose by those calculations around 1.8 million, but we'll see. We'll see how that works out. Board-wise, it's very different than what we had been facing. We are now very secure, 64%. That's pretty good. Look at the board confidences here. Competitions is creeping up to 56%. Matches, 79%. Club stature, 52%. We've got a little bit of a raise there. Transfers, they're okay with these transfers we're making. Club philosophies, they are loving life here. Board absolutely delighted with how you're performing. All right. Club finances, maybe not so much, 50%. Because like I said, we are losing a little bit of money. Locker room atmosphere is 77%. Could be better. Same with leadership support. Still pretty good, 87%. And then tactics, surprisingly. Normally, everybody hates whatever tactics that you use, but they are enjoying the 4-1-1-4 wide asymmetric MCR formation, also known as form number 2. So we'll just keep it at that. So yeah, they are definitely looking good there. Let's see. What are we looking at? Club issues. Not a lot going on. Club stature. We looked at that. Payroll budget. Still 50%. Job value. We got to fix this. 1%. Our job value is pretty low, so we might have to ask for a new contract or something. But develop players using the club's youth system. They are very happy about that, and well, they should be. We signed, I would say, at least a dozen players from the academy over the last 3 seasons. So I don't know if anybody in the world is doing better than that, much less anybody in MLS. So that's pretty good. All right, club-wise, not much has changed. Facilities, we're up to great training facilities, so that should help people, take their game to the next level. Good youth facilities, well-established youth recruitment, excellent junior coaching. So we've been improving these slightly over the year, and it's worked out pretty good. Is there any news we should take a look at here? MLS Team of the Week announced. There's Raheem Edwards on the left, and there's our guy we brought back from loan, Nasco. Gets a little nod for the Team of the Week. Outstanding young man. World Cup qualifying section going on. As you can see, no Team Canada. Unfortunately, maybe that Team Canada job will be open and we can come back home once we're done with Portugal. We'll take a look at Portugal in a minute, but just briefly. Piet, disappointed with their loss. Okay, whatever. Mendez has resumed training. We saw that. I guess not much else is going on here in the news. A lot of rehabilitation news. A lot of guys coming back from injury. Transfer window is closed, so not much going on there. Let's take a look at the medical center where all the action is going on right now. Look at all these guys with high injury risk. Andre, Marica, Romero, Mane, Gilio, Pujol. Everybody with above average or worse. Mane is finally back. He's able to start his rehabilitation. He's still a little ways away. Even though it says he's 100%, I just don't trust it until this very high goes away. I'm not taking him off the disabled list. Mendez is recovering. Andre likewise is back. He's got a little bit ways to go left on the disabled list. One of our youngsters, Corentin Blanc, injured for the season. Andre Romero is still injured with that Achilles tendon. Bruno, likewise, injured with a concussion. He's day-to-day. So it's just been MASH unit all over the place. We haven't looked at dynamics in a while. Crepeau is unhappy. Dupuis is concerned. We're going to, Dupuis got a little bit of playing time, so he's okay, I guess. But Crepeau, there's no help for him. Might have to just let him go. Definitely letting him go in the offseason, unfortunately. I hate to end on bad terms with Crepeau because he did good service for us early in the save, but now we don't really need him. So unfortunately, that's business. Hierarchy. Yes, there we go. Laren and Romero are our team leaders. That's very good. I've gotten a tan since I've gone to Portugal. I don't know if you can notice that or not, but I am looking extremely tan. So, all that sun on the beaches of Portugal, I guess. Laren, Romero, Jackson Amel, Andre, we got lots of support. Surprisingly, 11 players have no opinion of me. I guess it's the young guys. Crepeau. A lot of the guys, Bruno, D'Alessandro, some of the new guys, Duverne, I guess. He's been with us for a while, but he's not an opinionated fella, I guess. Social groups, this is always interesting, and this is how it's been really for the last few years. It's just 3 main social groups, French speakers who are also Canadian, and then, Canadians who maybe are not necessarily French speakers, I don't know, and then new guys. So just sort of split among language lines, I suppose. So there we go. There's the 3/4 season update. I don't know if do we want to look at maybe some statistics. Might be good. Stats, competitions. Let's just look at the league stats. Get this over here a little bit. There we go. Let's look at appearances. Junior Ramos, 21 appearances. Duvern, 20. Bruno, 20. Thiago, 20. So lots of guys leading our appearances. Gonzalo, doing well on loan with 10 goals and 24 appearances. I think he's over there in Finland doing a good job. Mendez is our leading goal scorer, 9 goals. It's interesting. He's the guy who made the MLS All-Star team, even though he only being with our team for like a month. So that was kind of wild. Dupuis is next with 7 goals, and then Kyle Aaron with 7. So maybe Dupuis is right. Maybe he should be getting more playing time. I don't know. Jackson Amell. We got so many good strikers right now that they're all scoring, they're all producing, so that's good. I guess Jackson Amell is sort of the least of the bunch, but he's got the third best rating. Look at Mendez, 7.5 rating. He is just killing it. We need to play him more. I wish he would stay healthy. We could definitely be playing him more. But just so many of our guys up front are responding. Looking pretty good. Petrasso's looking good. Raheem Edwards is scoring goals, getting assists. He's our leading assist man now after that 5-assist breakout. Mendez with 7 assists. So this team is playing better than the record would indicate. And I think, I had a lot of confidence in this team going in. That's why I wasn't too worried about that whole board stuff, is that I knew the potential of this team. It's just they're finally realizing it and finally playing pretty well. We can look at the average rating. Nasco comes in. His one and only game gets an 8.4 with a goal. So, I guess this guy should play every game now, right? I don't know. Mendez, Laren, Ramos, Jackson Amell, D'Alessandro. So our defense is a little bit lagging. If anybody's lagging, it seems to be the defense. Duvern, Jaguar, Pantami, Bruno, Cabrera, Thiago. Everybody is sort of down here in the 6-8s. Who's our worst rated player? Chevalier, 6.67. Romero, well, he hasn't played much. Vasquez. So, even our worst player isn't that bad. 6.67 isn't great, but it isn't terrible. It's not 6.1 down here with Barbier out on loan. Need to talk to him about his performance there. But anyway, stats are looking good. The squad is looking good. Competition-wise, we're third in the league in goals scored with 43. Well, look at Portland up at the top. 59 goals in 28 matches. Get out of here. Headers completed, we are 8th on the list at 61%. Possession, of course, we're nowhere on this list. We're not really a possession-based team. San Jose up top with 56%. LAFC, there's Vancouver. I think Vancouver is going to be a sneaky, tough team in that Western Conference. When we played them, they looked very tough to beat. So we'll see how they work out in the playoffs. Most tackles, we're 5th in the league. We've definitely gotten a little bit more aggressive this season with our tackling, 77%. Orlando City is number 1 in goals allowed with 24. We're hanging in there 7th place at 33. That's a little bit too many goals allowed, I think. I think we've had definite defensive problems this season. Most shutouts, Orlando City, 15 shutouts in 27 matches. Most fouls, LAFC. Passes completed, San Jose, that's no surprise. LA, Houston. Columbus is up there, that's interesting. But I guess they kind of play a possession style. Anyway, most crosses completed, 17%. We're basically, I guess we're tied for first. I don't know, everybody's got 17%. I guess, I don't know how they judge it because Portland has the most crosses completed with 165, but they're not number 1, they're number 2. I don't know how that works out. But anyway, our wingers are playing much better this season, completing a lot more crosses. Best at hitting the target, we're not on this list. This is very disappointing. Even though we're scoring goals, which is nice, we could be scoring even more if we actually were hitting the target. All right. So let's get on to today's matchup. We're going to go with the Burning Man formation again, the 4-1-2-3 DM wide. This is one that's been working for us recently, and because we've had to play so many weird lineups, had to have so many different guys in there. We're just going to go with this and keep it rolling, because without our full starters in there, full complement of just like dominant players, it's a little bit harder to play that 4-2-4, because not everybody can make up all the ground that's necessary to play that formation. So we'll pack it back a little bit. Guys like Nasco can get in there and play well. So we got a ton of guys coming off injury, and we're resting them. We got a ton of guys coming off of international duty, so we're also resting them. So we're going to have another bit of a weird lineup here today against DC United, who are in 11th place apparently, which isn't very good since there's, I believe, only 11 teams in our conference. Yes. So they are last in the Eastern Conference, and that places them last in the entire league. So hopefully our second team can beat them. What's DC been up to this season? They had a decent season last year, up to 12th from a rock-bottom season of 21st the year before. Since, they've been on a downward slide. And these are, in real life, this is a team that has been on a downward slide ever since that, decent finish in 2014. And now in the news, there's talk of what's his face coming. Oh my God, I'm completely blanking on the name. Like, I know I'm bad at real players' names, but I know this guy's name. I know who he is. Oh my God, I can't believe I can't remember. I want to call him Harry Kane, but that would be a news story. If Harry Kane came over to DC United, then absolutely. But you know who I'm talking about. He's trying to come over to DC United, or DC United is trying to get him to come over here to play in their new stadium. We'll see if that works out or not. I think they're just trying to make a media splash there in Washington, D.C. Because, I don't know if you know a lot about Washington, D.C., but in terms of sports, MLS is way down there. It's like, it's NFL and the Washington Redskins. And then it's politics, which is a sport there in D.C., and then it's whichever other team is doing well in terms of, the Nationals, which is the baseball team, or the Caps, which is the hockey team, or the Wizards, which is the basketball team. Whichever one of those is doing well, they're next in line. And then actually Maryland college basketball is after that, and then probably Maryland college football. And then after that, somewhere after that, is DC United. So they are way down the pecking order in terms of sports there in DC. At least as far as the media coverage goes. I don't live there, obviously, so I don't know for sure. But it's difficult times there for DC United in terms of fans. And so maybe getting a big-time player from overseas will help them out. Who knows? But for now, let's see what they've done in the transfers. Not a lot. Couple of draft picks. Couple guys from their academy. One draft pick, waiver draft pick from Real Salt Lake, Jonathan Campbell. He's a decent player. Center back. He's okay. I'd take him, I guess, as a reserve or something. He's fine. Couple of guys from their academy. One super draft player from Palm Beach, 22-year-old left attacking midfielder. He's very much a super draft guy, like probably a mid-round pick. And then a couple of free transfers. Leo Principe, 24-year-old Brazilian, valued at $3.1 million. This is a heck of a free transfer. Wingback, attacking wingback. Okay. And then Pedro Bambu, another Brazilian, 33 years old. What is he? He's a regista. Physicals in the tank. Mental's okay. Technicals, okay. They're not paying this guy much, and that's good because he's not that good. Did they do anything in the trade market to make up for this? They did a lot. Let's see. They traded away Alex Bono. Right? Items offered. No, they traded for Alex Bono from New England. So good for them. They traded away Steve Birnbaum. Picked up Alex Schoberg, 29-year-old central defender. He's okay. They picked up AJ De La Garza, 32-year-old Guatemalan, another defender. So they've really focused on their defense. They traded away Eric Miller, Aaron Long, Harry Shipp to Chicago. A lot of trades with Chicago going on here. They picked up Ross Purdy from us. Okay. So hopefully he's playing. I don't know how well he's doing. 24-year-old American. How's he doing? 10 appearances, 6.71 rating, so not great. Did they make any big moves? Arroyo, not a great move. Another left back. He's not great. Traded away Waylon Francis. They picked up Carl Salmon. Okay, so I guess we've helped them out a little bit. Again, another defensive player. He's had eight games for him. I almost call him 8 caps, but no, just 8 games. All right. Team selection. So here's what we're going on the bench. We're going with Vasquez, Petrasso, Mendy, one of our youngsters, Sweet, Giglio, Boxall, and Lutweiler on the bench. Like I said, we're going with the 4-1-2-3. We got some guys lacking match fitness. That's fine. I mean, it's not fine, but it is what it is. So they're going with an interesting formation here. They're going with the 4-2-3-1 DM formation. Looks like Leo Principe is going forward. De La Garza is there. Blanco in the middle. I don't think he's that Blanco. 25-year-old Argentinian. He looks okay. Domingo Blanco. Okay. They still have Verón, so that's good. 7.14 rating. 11 goals on the season, so we got to watch out for him. Rivas on the left. Bruno Mendes up top. So they got a decent team. I don't know why they're struggling so much, but they are. Meanwhile, we're going with Thiago in goal. Taylor and Duverne at the fullbacks. Cabrera and Chevalier at the central defense. There's Nasco again. He's our highest rated player. 1 game, 8.4 rating. Junior Ramos and Eric Lopez in the midfield. Raheem Edwards on the left, our leading assist man. D'Alessandro on the right, and Dupuis up top. So a lot of reserves in there for us, but a lot of guys who've been performing pretty well this last few years. Fully expect you to keep our run going. Nobody cares. Opposition instructions. Let's go. Bruno Mendes, get closed down, son. Rivas as well. I mean, I should set all this by now, but like, who's got time for that? We know that De La Garza is an attacking wingback, so this is going to be an incredibly attacking formation here. I think number 3 is coming forward too, so we will close down on him at the very least. So maybe this is their problem. Maybe, even though they bought all those defenders in the offseason, they're sending them all forward. So it's not going to do a lot of good for them. So here we are. We are in the whites again with the stripy socks. See how we've been playing in our white uniforms. Oh, look at D'Alessandro just burning down the outside. Nobody can catch this guy. Terrible cross. Wow. Wow. But man, he made their defense look slow, so that's bad news. Speaking of slow, they're going to slow play it here. At least they were until they banged it downfield. See if Pedro Bambu's got a little bit of an injury. There's Principe coming down the outside. Going to have to hopefully cover him. Nope, they're not covering him. He sends one in, but Cabrera gets it out. Lopez with the deflection. Nice tackle by Junior Ramos. Blanco. Now, the good thing about all of our backup defensive midfielders, we've got like 3 or 4 backup defensive midfielders. They all have tremendous tackling ability. So this is good. We can bring them in and they can at least do that. I mean, I'm not expecting another goal out of Nasco, but if he just sits back in that pocket and does stuff like that, we're fine. Gets it up to Edwards. Edwards heads it on to Dupuis, who can't get it. Medeiros steals it from him. He tries to beat us long, but Duverne is there. Chevalier heads it on to Lopez. D'Alessandro, let's see what he can do. He's our speed guy, so I'd rather not have him with the ball. I'd rather have him down on the receiving end, like a wide receiver. Oh, speaking of receiving end, there's Dupuis. Dupuis looking around. Junior Ramos with a long shot. Not too happy about that. But there ends the highlight. That's the one thing about those Brazilian midfielders we got. They love to shoot the ball. Here's Lopez, the youngster. Gets it ahead to Dupuis. Dupuis is surrounded by 6 defenders. He finally drops it back to Lopez. Lopez Would have preferred a long ball. Let DeSandro run underneath that. He tries another crazy one. Raheem Edwards. Wow. How did he get that? But that's what he does, man. He goes after those balls. I don't know. I don't know if he's got like great aggression or what, but his teammates send the ball long and he goes after it. Lopez sends one short, and then D'Alessandro just sort of wildly bangs one back post. Look at Edwards. Goes up high for it, using that athletic ability. I mean, that's why we went out and got him, because he had that speed and athleticism to him. But he's finally starting to put it all together. I mean, look at his abilities. He's just sort of okay, other than pace and acceleration are his best attributes, and leadership. Decent work rate, I guess, off the ball. Determination, dribbling is okay. He's just like super average bench guy. But man, when he's playing well, he's playing well. What can you do? Just keep him in there. He might keep some of our more heralded wingers on the bench for a little while. Petrasso, Romero. Let them heal up, rest, and recover, and get ready for the playoffs. Hello, Taylor. Yes, please go for the ball. Thank you. Taylor's already got a yellow card 7 minutes in. I don't like that. Do not want. So we might have to sub him out. Look at him. Why? Taylor, what are you doing, man? Get back in position. Back in position to cover Principe. Gets one to the back post. They got 2 headers on that one. Neither one was particularly good, but with Chevalier in the back line, I thought we'd have a little bit better heading defense than that. 16 jumping reach, 12 heading now, 12 tackling. Chevalier, we need to get him more playing time. I mean, I know he's only 18, but man, he's so good. There's a terrible bit of offense there, but Duverne plays backstop, gets it to Nasco. Lopez, what are you going to do with it? Junior Ramos, head on by Nasco, can't get it to Dupuis. Looks like DC United is going to start the counterattack with Verón. Going up against Raheem Edwards. Working well. There's Rivas. Past Duverne. Past Chevalier. Centers to Mendez. Cabrera heads it out of there. Good man. Verón. Taylor's on the spot. Gets it forward. Can't get it to Dupuis. That's one of the problems with Dupuis. He doesn't have a lot of range. Verón heads it down to himself. What a stop by Thiago. Just a reflex save right there. And there's Dupuis. If you can get him the ball, he's okay. But he's not a guy who's going to go wide ranging to pick it up. All right. Principe to Verón. Verón looking for an open shot. Can't get one. Nasco is there. He's 23 years old. We can't think of him as like your average rookie. Even though he's not a rookie, we drafted him a couple of years ago. Here's Raheem Edwards. See what he can do with it. See if he can pull out a little bit more magic. No, he just drops it off to Ramos. Ramos, cross field to D'Alessandro. Wide open, a lot of space to use that speed. Centers can't get it ahead, but he gets it right back. Looking, tries to get it to... I want to call him Ramos, but that is not Ramos. There's Mendez on the counterattack for DC. Cabrera's going to boot that one out of there. I'm wondering if we should try to hold possession a little bit more. I don't like all these highlights they're getting. Nice steal. There's Ramos. Gets it to Dupuis. Bangs it forward again. Raheem Edwards on the run. Can he get it to D'Alessandro? Is D'Alessandro making a run? He is not making a run. There's a terrible clearance. And a goal by... Was that Dupuis? Yeah, that was Dupuis. That was just some awful defending. Terrible clearance, straight to Dupuis. We had 4 guys sitting there. But I am going to retain possession, shorter passing. We got our 2 goals. We can just go home. Let's take the ball and go home. Taylor's been booked. Okay. Edwards has it now after the free kick is dismissed. D'Alessandro going out wide with it. Chips it back to Lopez. Lopez out wide to Cabrera. What's Cabrera doing out there? Do not like that. Lopez to Edwards. Raheem Edwards. Not a lot of conviction on that one. So yeah, Taylor's been booked. Oh, stuff's going on. Stuff's happening. What's going on? Oh, they tried to slow play it again. Rivas now is going to bang it forward. Out wide to Verón. Let's get outside on him. Mendez gets ahead on it. Not much steam on that, though. Here we are, back on their end of the field. Taylor with the throw-in in front of our away crowd. Edwards gets the ball stolen by Bambu. Sends it downfield to Mendez. Comes DC on the counterattack. Blanco to Verón. It's been a lot of highlights. This has been a very exciting first half. There's only 20 minutes gone. What is happening? What is going on here? Blanco forward to Principe. Thiago. I think with DC United, the way they're just coming forward, maybe we should go counterattack. I don't know. I mean, that seems like reasonable in the sort of rock, paper, scissors of Football Manager, right? What is the rock, paper, scissors of Football Manager? It's, attack versus counterattack, control versus defend versus counter. I don't know. There's too many rocks and papers and scissors. We need more stuff. Rock, paper, scissor, glue. Oh, look out. Cabrera knocks it out of there. Medeiros to Rivas. DC still on the attack. Chevalier clears it out of there. Good man. All right. 30 minutes down now, so that's good. We're almost to halftime. It seems like we've been here forever. 35 minutes and counting. So yeah, like I said, I had some recording problems earlier. I have a Behringer mixer that I use to do all this stuff with, do all my audio stuff. It's an older model. It's a Xenix Q802 USB. So it is good for recording to the computer because it has the USB output and input. But it isn't necessarily designed to work with a computer. That's a little bit how old it is. So it's it's one of their first models that they had, so they hadn't worked out all the kinks in terms of digital recording. So it's got some quirks to it. But one of the things I found out, here's Dupuis on the attack. A good bit of advice: if your audio settings start acting weird all of a sudden and you can't get your microphone to work, like I was getting feedback and reverb through the mic and like all this crazy stuff. And I tried all kinds of things. Just unplug your Behringer and let it sit for a minute and then plug it back in. So basically a reboot of your mixer. And that's what fixed it for me. So a little bit of technical help. Did you try rebooting it, basically? So there we go. Halftime. 2-0. Looking pretty good. Raheem Edwards and Dupuis with the goal. Those two guys again. I mean, we have them slated as perennial bench players, but they're coming through for us. This is what bench players are supposed to do. When they get their opportunity, play like starters, and they are definitely doing that. So let's get to the dressing room. Start the second half. Very pleased. Keep it going. So do we want to switch to counterattack or not? I think not for now. If they get a goal, I guess we'll go counterattack and see how that works. Or if they start getting too many highlights, if they start stealing the ball from us doing that, which Deverne just did to them. Still Alessandro. I'm spoiled now because I got a goal off the kickoff, second half kickoff a few games ago. So now I expect it every time. It's like every time there's a highlight. So don't let anybody tell you that it never happens, that they never get goals off the kickoff, because it does happen occasionally. All right. How are we looking ratings-wise? Pretty average. Here's Duverne, interestingly, taking the free kick to Junior Ramos. He's looking out wide to Raheem Edwards. He's got two men on him. Let's go. Let's go. Get it out. Oh, he gets it way out wide. Edwards has to chase it down, but he's good at doing that. Gets it into Dupuis with the header. Good stop by Bono. I mean, that's Dupuy's bread and butter right there. Just standing in front of the goal like Shaquille O'Neal. Let's see. Chevalier is playing very well. 7.0 rating. D'Alessandro also 7.0. Taylor's got that yellow card. I think we'll take him out at the 60-minute point. Bring in old Giglio, who's now, what, 20 years old? Old man of... Nope, he's still only 19. I'm kind of looking to sell Giglio. Probably to an Italian, like, second or third division team. Because really we're just not going to get much more use out of him. We got another young guy on the bench who's going to be better than he is. He's better than him right now, honestly, and he's only 18. So if we can get some money for him, then we'll be, okay. So let's see. Let's bring in Giglio. Junior Ramos. Do we really have anybody to replace him? I mean, Sweet can replace him theoretically. Not at the Carolero position. Well, I guess Carolero is his best position. 22-year-old. Oh, let's... Sweet. Sweet is likewise 22 years old. 16 tackling. I mean, he's a defensive midfielder. He's got a decent pace, I guess. All right. C'est la vie. Put in another tackling machine. So maybe now is the time we switch to counterattack. But it's, everything's going well as far as I can tell. DC United does have 9 shots, but only 4 on target. Oh, there's their 10th shot. 8 fouls, 2 yellow cards, which we just got our yellow cards out of there. I don't know. At this point, there's no need to really mix things up. There's Weedy is coming on. He's a dangerous fella. Attacking midfielder on the right. 24 years old now. Looks like he's lost his starting position, but he's still pretty good. 14 dribbling. He looks a lot like one of our wingers. This is a guy that we would definitely pick up. Valued at $4 million. So I don't know why he isn't playing to begin with. Hey, there's Purdy. Let's see how he does. He's probably going to score a goal against us. I mean, he's a guy that I really liked. Look at that pace, man. 16 pace, 15 acceleration. He was a good player. We don't play advanced playmakers very much, so we just didn't have a lot of room for him. D'Alessandro getting out wide. Speaking of pace, he's going to put on the Jets. Get down the sideline, young man. We can't score, but that was a great counterattack. 87 minutes. Looks like we kind of got this one in the bag. We'll see. Here's Sweet with the corner. That's interesting. Raheem Edwards. Looking to Lopez. He gets tackled, but Edwards is there. Sweet's going to pick it up, and there ends the highlight. Okay, fine. It's good. No problem. Sweet's come in with a 6.6 rating. It's going to ruin his... no, that's Nasco. Nasco 6.7. It's still going to ruin his overall average, 8.4. We should have just had him play that one game and then never play him again. Purdy wins it. Luidi sends it in. Chevalier is there, heads it out. Purdy has it. Looking to make a play against his old team. Principe, Medeiros, Blanco. What are they going to do with it? 3 minutes of stoppage time. Cabrera bangs it out of there. All right. So that should end the highlight, but no, maybe we're going to get a counterattack. Sends it out wide to D'Alessandro. Look at him go. He gets around 1 man, gets around 2 men, crosses it. Hello, Raheem Edwards. I mean, I guess he said this pass is for Dupuy and none of you else bother to touch it. And so they followed his instructions. Duvern's getting forward. He's feeling aggressive. Look at this. He sends across. There's Raheem Edwards. I wish he'd gone after the previous ball, but, There's a turnover. Duvern all over the place with a crazy slide tackle. Gets back in position. Principe just shanks one over the goal. 1 minute to go in stoppage time. So it's another good win. We keep our win streak going even though we're playing all these reserves. So maybe DC United was playing a bunch of reserves too. D'Alessandro wins it, but to no avail. But just about 30 seconds to go here. So yeah, there's good news, bad news with us keeping this streak alive. Good news is our reserves are playing well. Bad news is it might cause our starters to have some problems in the future, like us not playing them. You know, it's hard to take guys out when you're winning. So maybe I'll just keep with this lineup until we lose a game and then bring the starters back in. I don't know if that's a great idea, but, you know, you have to manage momentum with this game, and you don't want to break your own momentum, really. So we'll see how that works out. But anyway, all right, good win, boys. Well done. Well done. Oh, man, I was trying to hold that cough in so bad. Take some drinks of water, but it escaped me. All right. Throat's getting dry here. Let's wrap this up pretty soon. It's been kind of a long episode. So let's see what we got coming up next. You know, I've been doing so good with the coughing lately, but of course it's going to come back when you least expect it. All right. So that moves us up to 4th in the Supporter Shield, 1st in the Eastern Conference. It's a bit of a surprise for us to be, you know, doing this well after our poor start, but you know what? Perseverance pays off sometimes. So there we go. We got Orlando City, New England, New York. That's going to be an important game. Seattle, San Jose. That's a tough final 4 games to end with. New York, Seattle, San Jose, who's number 1 in the league, and Atlanta United, who's always tough. So, what do? Do we play each of these games? I mean, they all seem pretty important. What's Orlando City looking like? They're 3rd in the league. 3rd in the conference, anyway. So, yeah, I guess we're going to have to just play all these games. Maybe we could skip New England. Yeah, they're 10th, so we could skip New England. But I think everybody else we got to play out and see how we're doing against the top competition. Get ready for the playoffs. So, until next time, we'll come back for Orlando City. We'll see you then. Bye-bye.